What does it have to do with anything?
I don't know, but I have to go throw up. I have to throw up. I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I don't know.
The topic that I'm doing right now is stress. And stress is something that affects many of Americans. And I say Americans, but it really affects the whole world. It just affects them in different ways. There are a lot of other countries that are much more stressful than America, and there are a lot of other countries that are less stressful than America. So we're about to talk on the science behind stress. My background with stress is I've had a history of severe mental illness. I've had a history of stress to the point where it is burning a hole in my soul. Okay, great. Oola, thank you, thank you. Oola. Okay, so I'm gonna go through exactly the science behind stress. Stress is an airborne pathogen that is also a bloodborne pathogen. Okay, so people think that stress is caused by things in their environment, things in their mind. However, it is not. It is a pathogen that lays dormant until something in your life causes stress, and it awakens and blossoms like a flower or the mouth of a Venus flytrap. Okay, now the questions that I want to tackle, and that's why I have a scientist with me, is what is stress chemically? What is the science behind stress? If you know me, you know that I am big into science. What is stress colitis? Is stress colitis the exact same thing as regular stress? We're going to find that out. Okay, can you die from stress? Is stress the best diet you can have? What are some healthy ways of coping with stress? And what are some unhealthy ways? Okay? Dry heaves, sleeplessness, trouble sleeping, exercise. Do any of these affect the stress that pours through your veins on a regular basis? Hey.
Oh no.
This music's kind of loud. It's giving me a fucking headache. Hi, how you doing? I'm Jack Rodenskull. Hi, how you doing? I'm Jack Rodenskull. Hi, how you doing? I'm Jack Rodenskull. Thanks for listening to my intro earlier. We're gonna do a quick episode on stress. The episodes were way too long, so we've been getting some feedback on. Yes, yeah, absolutely. We've been getting some feedback on how long the episodes are, and they're way too long. Just let me get through this fucking thing, please.
Inhale, and then exhale.
Inhale, exhale.
Inhale.
So I have a scientist.
Exhale your stress away.
Laura has been on this show many, many times. She is our resident scientist. Right?
Thank you.
She's done the science on nutrition, which hasn't come out yet. She's done the science on holidays, which hasn't come out yet. And I've also had her on one of the previous shows, Birth, which she told us all about the science.
Feminism?
She's actually, sexism. She knows about the science on that. And all kinds of scientific things. Everybody knows I'm not a scientist per se, but I am a big believer in science. I love science. I'm very interested in science. I'm always asking you scientific questions about oxygen, all kinds of things. What stress does to the body. Can it burn a hole in your body? Can it burn you from the inside out? Is one of my major questions about stress. So,
right?
first,
Ulcer? Yeah. He's stressed.
Am I stressing you out?
Are we stressing you out?
No. First, I want to talk.
me?
I want to talk about everybody's day first, and just talk about maybe a stressful experience. So I want people to watch this show and be like, "Oh shit, me too. I feel better."
Today I went to the dentist. It was all right, but like kind of expensive, which is stressful.
One of the major stressors is money.
And then I went to the gym because exercise is a good way to cope with stress.
Great day.
And then I got my hair blown out, which it's nice to treat yourself. That's good for stress too.
Yeah, taking care of the body, your appearance, you look good, you feel good, that could tend to be an anti-stressor.
my entire facility is under construction. I have permits that are coming up on 3 months now, and they haven't even approved them, and they've kicked them back. I had 2 appointments end up on my schedule today.
Don't name the city.
Don't name the city. I had 2 appointments. By the time it comes out, my permits will be approved. Can't take them back, can they?
I know, we're like 50 episodes behind.
Yeah, we got a while. So
Because-
anyway. With that. Yeah, but my building has no signage because it's been months since my signs were approved. None of my clients can find my building, and despite the efforts that I give them to give them excellent directions before they come, everybody is so dependent on technology that they don't listen to a word that I say, and they just follow their GPS, which is taking them to the wrong place, because even though I keep resetting it for whatever reason, it keeps moving it to a residential complex, about 10 solid blocks from where I am.
May I just say that your facility looks fucking amazing and you're doing a fantastic job and you should be so fucking proud of yourself and no one else could pull it off.
Thank you.
You're amazing. You're welcome.
So sometimes a little feedback from someone else can also alleviate stress. Just like Heather just said, I haven't seen the facility. I'm sure I wouldn't be able to find it. No.
You wouldn't be able to find it because you don't listen.
Yeah, because you don't listen. You don't listen. The entire world is becoming so dependent on technology that they can't go straight and make a left. The GPS tells them to go woo, so they just follow the GPS into the wind.
Well, you're not putting yourself in that person's shoes. Maybe they're stressed out because they can't find a place where they're trying to do something to help their body.
Absolutely.
Well, when it all shuts off, like that show Revolution, did you ever see that show Revolution? It was really good. All like the power was out. Then those people will just fucking die.
Yeah.
And it's like thinning the herd because
Yeah.
they're not smart enough to.
But
deal with
my
life.
age is showing. I am literally becoming one of those crotchety old people because I'm like, what? You can't get anywhere without a GPS. You know, back in my day, we used to have to use a map. And apparently, this is me now. This is who I am now.
I love it.
This is me. So I'm like, what? There was, okay, count the numbers, right? 35th Street, 36th Street, 37th Street, whatever.
You mean they go in a certain order?
They go in order. Like, if you know the address you're going, you can go down the road and just
No.
find it.
No.
I lived an entire life that way. I drove to fancy places. So,
And not so fancy.
and not so fancy places. Like that. So
This is called
stuff.
Stress terror.
And by the way, a huge portion of the people that I deal with, one of the reasons they're sick is because of stress. Stress is a very real thing.
And now we're getting into the science
I'll
of
be
it.
seeing you when mine gets to me.
So stress is a chemical invasion on the body, and it's a reaction to your environment, correct?
Among many other things, yes.
And now stress colitis, is it real?
Stress colitis?
Yeah. Why don't you define that for the viewers, please?
I've never heard that term before.
Never?
Sure. So, is stress colitis a real thing? No, I don't think it's a real thing.
I'm looking it up.
But I'm sure, but people get ulcers and people get all kinds of stomach
Ulcerative
issues from
colitis.
stress. Ulcerative colitis is a real thing.
Caused by stress.
Caused by stress.
Okay.
So anyway, but when
Dad,
people,
hold my seat.
so our body has an normal cellular process, it's good, called
Wash your hands.
It's important to wash your hands. So apoptosis. Apoptosis. So every cell in our body has a programmed lifespan, and it lives for a certain period of time, and then it dies, and the body makes a new one. And for example, the cells on the inside lining of our mouth are renewed about every 3 days. It's a faster healing apoptosis cycle, whereas, for example, bone is much, much slower. So our body is already busy constantly making new cells and getting rid of old cells. And yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know, but I have to go throw up. I have to throw up. I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I don't know.
So that right there is Ah.